Hello and welcome back to my channel. I don't ever do these like intros, so apologies for that. Anyway, about 2 months ago, pretty much almost exactly 2 months ago, I did a tier ranking of Marvel Rivals heroes that as a strategist main, I hate playing against. So I'm going to do the polar opposite of that pretty much today, and I'm going to rate Marvel Rivals heroes / villains as a strategist main on who I want on my team. All right, and how successful I feel like they're going to be on my team. So I'll keep this as brief as I can, but honestly, I'm probably going to be complaining a lot about a bunch of stupid characters that I don't like. All right, so I'm gonna start off with Punisher. I'm just gonna go in order, I guess, here. So starting off with Punisher. Wait, does this go down to, it's just D tier. All right. I didn't know it went down farther. All right, so Punisher, I'm going to put in C tier. Honestly, because of my experience as a strategist, my experience is they don't tend to help much with the backline. I don't know. I mean, I feel like they're just kind of a very basic character in my opinion, so I'm gonna put them C tier because yeah, one, I don't feel like they ever help with the back line. They're just very mid, I guess. I don't feel like I feel like so many of them tend to be very bad. There are some that will pop off 100% that are great, but I think the numbers and percentage wise for Punisher mains very low. All right, the Thing I am gonna put in S tier. One, they can peel very fast, and I think most of them, one, because they have to rely, Vanguards are going to suck if their strategists are bad. So if a Vanguard wants to be successful and have a good game, they have to rely on the strategists. They don't necessarily care about the DPS and just hoping that they're helping get kills. But they can't. As somebody who plays some Vanguard 2, I can tell when I have a really bad strategist that just isn't able to heal me. I can tell when that happens. So the Things, I do feel like high probability of peeling. So I will give them that. All right, Hawkeye, D tier. I feel like there's potential there, but in my opinion, kind of very overrated. They're standing right next to us and still just not helping. Their ability to protect strategists against the Spider-Man or a Black Panther or Psylocke or whatever is just poor. They're so focused on just shooting down an alley, they don't, just oblivious to everything else going on around them. I would rather never have a Hawkeye on my team, 100%. I mean, there's probably GOATs out there, sure, but 99% of Hawkeye's god-awful. Opposite, I think, for Bucky, is Bucky A? I think Bucky is going to be an A tier hero for me. One, they tend to play a little bit more mid. I don't know if they necessarily help very often. But they will grapple people, and a lot of the times that they're grappling people who are being obnoxious in the back. So I appreciate that. They can also actually do legit damage and get legit kills. So Bucky mains a lot higher success rate than somebody like Punisher. So if I get a Bucky or see like a Lord Bucky or something on my team, I'm a lot happier. So yeah, Bucky, I will give that. Doctor Strange, same with Thing. They're less likely to peel than 100% less likely to peel than like what a Thing would be doing. But it still, even with like some minor nerfs, they're still, I think, the best Vanguard for sure. They can just block so much. They can stop ultimates. They offer so much utility to the team. Assuming they aren't going to troll you with a portal launching you off, like launching their teammates off of the map. which, you know, we've all been there. But yeah, I think S tier. Like, I think if we have like a legit Doctor Strange, that gives you the best chance from anybody of getting a win. So yeah, huge there. Iron Man, I'm gonna put in B tier. I think this is probably one of the most 50-50s of Iron Man. Some really good, some really bad. They tend to be, I think a lot of them tend to be very hyper obnoxious by constant spamming of need healing. Dude, outside of Spider-Man, you are probably one of the hardest to heal up in the air. Again, my complaint as a strategist is I think for everybody to potentially ever to play ranked, you have to have so many hours in each category. You have to have so many hours in Vanguard, so many hours of DPS, so many hours as a strategist, just to have a general idea of how everybody functions. I would love for Iron Man mains to play a strategist and constantly heal them. But again, a very good portion of them are very successful, can help the team, great ultimate, assuming they hit it. But there's a very high percentage of people who pick them that are, you can tell, 8-year-old kids that are just having a good time. Totally fine with that, totally cool. It's just such a 50-50 toss-up. Magic, probably A tier. And the reason why I want to say A tier is I think, one, Magic is a very useful hero, but then also I've noticed a little trend in Magic players actually being very willing to help and come back and support the strategists. Especially if there's like one message, I'll throw a message. Like if I feel like I'm getting dived on and nobody is helping, I usually just throw it in the chat of like a little help on the back line, please. And that's it. I keep it very positive. Just like I could use some help. If you guys want heals, I need some help with this Black Panther or Iron Fist that's fisting me in the back. So yeah, Magics I feel like are trending more towards like very useful people and willing to help out. Iron Fist, you know, I know how obnoxious they can be for supports. If I have one on a team, it's not horrible, but it's not great. I'm just hoping they're as good as the enemy Iron Fist or better, and they're willing to actually really disrupt and get kills on that, the enemy's backline. So it's 50-50, but most of the time I would rather have the Iron Man than him. So yeah, no, I'm good. Black Panther, D tier. I legit will half ignore the the Black Panther, but it's Tickle Monster, right? If the enemy has a Black Panther, I think one time I have come across a Black Panther that was legit, that was making my game unplayable. One time, and where I was just not getting help, and he was basically just focusing me. And that was bad. Dude ended up like, I don't know, 25-2 type of a game, and we lost. Nobody was willing to help. That was the one time I've ever had a bad experience with the Black Panther. Otherwise, I'm half ignoring them. So if we have it on my team, I'm assuming the strategists on the other team are just like, it's just Black Panther, just ignore him. He's doing his own thing. So yeah. Invisible Woman. If I'm playing one strategist and somebody else picks Invisible Woman, I'm totally fine with that. Invisible Woman has tons of abilities. One of the more unique strategists, I think, in the game because of, one, her ability to just spam heal. I think it's really good. She has an awesome ult. The little bubble thing is great. And then the push-pull ability is underrated. I tend to push. I need to work better on pulling and getting people like pulled into our team a little bit better. That's where I struggle with her, just because it's like muscle memory of pushing somebody away. But I get a lot of kills with my push too. So if I see somebody low, I shove them, and I probably half my kills with Invisible Woman are pushes. So she is very strong. The only time where I just don't trust other healers. I don't. If I'm a Vanguard, 9 times out of 10, it's like I'm not going to trust my healers. Every once in a while, I'll get some really good ones. But if I'm playing anything other than healer, I tend to just get a little frustrated because I know I could do better. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, but I don't trust other people to play what I'm comfortable with. All right, most obvious D tier, most useless in my opinion. Like, yeah, I understand there's probably people who are really good with Black Widow. 99.999% of them are very bad. So no, just I really hope this never play on my team. All right, Hulk. Hulk, middle of the pack as well. I think he's just kind of overshadowed by some other Vanguards that are a little bit better. I think most Hulks that I play with are actually decent. They do disrupt. They're getting in the front. They're bashing through people. They're jumping behind. They're doing anything and everything they can, and they've got some good survivability. So most of the time, I'm totally fine with it. But I do feel like probably there's a good chunk of like Hulk mains that just don't feel like they do enough. Me personally, I have like an hour and a half, 2 hours on Hulk, and I hate him. I don't know. I don't play him because I just feel like I don't do enough. And I misuse him. So that's probably what the same experience I see with Hulks is. People just don't know how to play him right. But when you get the people who do know how to play him right, that's great. Groot is A tier. Most are really good. The only time I ever run into issues with that or whatever is like if I know I'm going through a lot of tight alleys, things like that, doorways where Groots are just blocking me off, like blocking off your teammate. And I do the same thing. I've got 8 hours or 9 hours or something like that on Groot, pretty decent amount of time. And I think I try to do my best I can when I do it. I've been trying to put more walls like sideways or up high where people go under it. They ignore it a little bit more and try to get kills that way, or putting it sideways where I can get heals. But when it's blocking off things, blocking sight lines, and I go on that other side, I know I'm putting myself up for, to getting obliterated and not getting healed. So Groot's 9 times out of 10 really good. Helpful and really good at creating space, keeping enemies back, pushing, things like that. So most really good. It's just as a strategist, sometimes you're blocking your own sightline, you're blocking your own heals. So keep that in mind if you play a lot of Groot. Penny, I'm actually starting to like really enjoy Penny. I think she's probably A tier as well. There was some Penny hate or whatever, but I'm finding, she's a lot more useful on like domination style. When you're pushing the payload, she's a little bit, and when you're defending it, it's fine. But yeah, she's useful on a lot of maps. She's useful in certain game modes. Payload maybe a little bit less, but I think she's actually really good. Like I said, I've finally been playing her. I've got a handful of hours in with her. 5-ish or so, something like that. So she has been a lot of fun. And when she's also not bugging my team. I feel like as long as they're constantly putting down mines or putting down their little mine traps, constant shooting, then I have no problem with pennies. They're great, honestly, as a strategist. Most of them are not going to push up crazy either, where I just can't heal them. Or I would have to like push up super far, like I would have to with like a Hulk or a Thing potentially, where they're just going way too far, or a Cap, where I just can't heal them anymore. It's like, you're on your own, good luck getting back. Pennies don't do that. Pennies tend to just play on the point and just help defend it. So as a strategist, I love that. Jeffrey, I don't mind it. I'll put him middle of the pack because obviously if they can get 4 or 5 people in one ultimate, then goated, right? They're also, majority of them, super fun. Sometimes you never see them until you hear their ult, like, oh yeah, I forgot we had a Jeff. So yeah, middle of the pack. I think they can heal a decent amount. They can do some of that DPS poke damage. They're super obnoxious, hard to kill, but on my team, I would rather have another healer if I'm playing a strategist, somebody who can do a little bit more. But yeah, Jeff's ultimate I think helps bring him up a notch, so I'm okay with that. Wolverine, I think I will put A tier because he's got that survivability. He's also gonna hope, as if they're playing him right, will help keep vanguards away and keep them off, like pushing through to the back line. So I think if you play with a really good Wolverine, then he's going to help out most strategists. I've also noticed like they're very patient. When they come back, they tend to just like walk in front, and it's like I know like okay, he's asking for heals, and like so if people playing Wolverine, I don't feel like they're very toxic either. So Wolverine apparently just does not attract toxic people. So yeah, great. Johnny, I'm gonna put D tier. I just don't think they do enough damage. Yeah, I mean, I play a lot of Invisible Woman, so I do give him a buff, but I just don't think he does enough. He needs some type of like little buff. I'm assuming maybe in season 2 he's gonna get something, but one, he doesn't bug me on the enemy team very much, and he doesn't really, I feel like, contribute a whole lot on our team other than just flying around and poking, and then often complaining like, where are the heals? It's like, you're flying, dude, like just go get some heals. All right. Psylocke, I think middle of the pack as well, so I'm gonna put B. I think she's kind of come down to earth from like the beginning, like season 1. Honestly, like as a strategist, I'm starting to kind of treat her like a Black Panther. I'm realizing like her poke damage, her little striking she's shooting, it's not enough. The only time I ever die to a Psylocke is in an ultimate, or she gets a miracle shot from a mile away, that type of stuff. If she's trying to like flank and do one-on-one with me, no, like she's just not killing me. So I don't care. So I'm assuming again, same way, they're gonna flank and try to poke some damage at the back line. I just don't think it's enough. They're not in and out enough. They tend to just fly away, and then you never see them again for 2 minutes. And then yeah, so yeah, middle of the pack. I'd rather have a lot of other people than Psylocke, but whatever. Mr. Fantastic, probably about the same. He does have good survivability, healing. Again, if I'm playing Invisible Woman, give him a buff. So yeah, I think Mr. Fantastic, B tier. His ultimate is iffy, but I have died to his ultimate a handful of times. It's just not the greatest ultimate, so I get that. But he's so hard to kill as a DPS, so he's basically a tank. So yeah, on my team, I think I'm only okay with him. Otherwise, he's a C tier. If I'm playing Invisible Woman, he's B tier. Like, okay, that's fine. Like, I can deal with that. Mantis, I think is fine. Honestly, this hurts a little bit. Mantis has been knocked down a branch or two. A tree person. But yeah, Mantis I just don't think offers enough heals. She offers those buffs. She can put people to sleep. She does good damage output for a strategist, so she's on, DPS-ish. I just don't think she heals quite enough anymore. So she definitely got nerfed. I mean, I know she was by far like the best strategist between her and Luna in like season 1 or season 0, season 1 type stuff. But I think season 1.5 she's just been taken down a peg. So there's a couple other strategists I would rather have on my team. Rocket, probably C tier, just because like I know my team's gonna have to rely on my ultimate to keep people alive. Rocket's ultimate has potential, but people get way too far away from it. His ultimate is just right there. So if the team's like pushing and he tries to drop it and they're pushing away from it, it's useless. He does really good damage, but there's a lot of people, I think it became a trend of like no damage rocket or whatever, where you can just sit in the back and shoot orbs. I'm fine with that. He's got a ton of potential to drop an easy 20,000-30,000 heals. but doesn't do enough, I think, like util. So if I'm playing Mantis, like that's fine. But if I'm playing like anybody else, like I would much rather have somebody else. He's great with like a three support type thing. That's great. But yeah, I just think if it's 2 supports, I would rather not play with him. Star-Lord, I'll say A tier. I think the majority of Star-Lord players are really good, especially early on when I was playing a lot of Mantis. Again, those buffs help, and especially if you're doing like full Guardians thing with like Adam Warlock. Very useful, very helpful person. So I think most, again, like super strong ultimate. He is hard to heal, but I don't feel like most are like as obnoxious as some other flying ones. So I think most Star-Lords are pretty chill and laid back about it. But yeah, I feel like most can do like legit damage and legit kills and tend to go very positive. So yeah, again, I have no problem seeing a Star-Lord on my team. Storm, I would say C tier. I know, like when Johnny first came out, it's like, oh my god, running a Storm Johnny combo is devastating. No, like they both died off. Like I just don't see Storms very much right now. Obviously she can be very useful, but I feel like she's died way off. So if I have both, like a Johnny and a Storm, they'll probably get bumped up a little bit. But honestly, like one, I don't see her picked enough. And I mean, maybe every once in a while I'll stumble across somebody that's going like 30-2. But most of the time, like they're negative or just kind of a very average game. So again, more people, there's other people I'd rather have. Adam Warlock. He's iffy to me. I think I'm gonna put him C tier only because of the ultimate. Like they have to be done in the right spot, or at the right time. Really, his ultimate is so iffy. He does decent damage. He does decent heals. He is very useful with like the respawns, especially if he's playing with Guardians. But I think his ultimate drives me insane. I've never had one of his ultimates help me. Now I've started playing him a little bit more, so I'm very self-aware of that. So when I use his ultimate, I am getting close to the action as possible, but around some cover where they have enough time to come in, respawn, and I have enough time to heal them once. So you got to give yourself enough space. Don't do it like immediately right in front of enemies, or you're just killing your team back to back to back. Like, don't do that. Moon Knight, I guess I want to say B tier for Moon Knight. He's middle of the pack. Sometimes they get way too far forward, and I feel like Moon Knight is so much better like a little bit farther back. Again, I don't play Moon Knight, so I don't know, but the ones that are staying back, that are waiting for like the enemy team to like get on point and then kill them all with the ultimate, those are great. I love to see that. They're easier to heal. They're not as mobile, so I don't mind them, and I know they're going to be super obnoxious to the other team, assuming they're using their onks enough or properly, and they're not just so focused on like just shooting those because they can't hit anything else. There's so many examples where like they're just shooting straight at an onk trying to get the kill. It's like, dude, just look up. They're right there. Just shoot. So those type of things are a little annoying. All right, Thor. Thor, I think is a lot like the Thing, but maybe not quite as good. They're very positive players. Do I want to put him S? I think I may put A. There is a trend a little bit I'm noticing, kind of like Magic, where I do see some more Thors learning how to peel and help out. And get extra heals. I just don't think, if he's not playing with team ups, I don't think he's quite as useful. But again, as a strategist, they sometimes don't pull back enough. I want to try to keep them alive. It's a mixed bag, but I think the majority, and that's why I'll put them in A and not like drop them down to B or an S tier. I think the majority are pretty decent about being willing to help. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna go A. Venom on my team, probably B. As a strategist, again, they're flinging all over the place, so hard to heal. Just kind of debating, but yeah, I think B tier. They're just hard to heal, hard to kind of deal with, flinging all over the place. I know they're going to constantly be in the other team's enemy backline, so that's a plus for me. But again, as a strategist, I don't think they're doing enough to help out on the backline, and they're flinging over top of me. Like they're a nightmare to heal unless they walk in front of you. Magneto, S tier. I feel like Magneto probably does more to protect. Now I know, like Doctor Strange I talked up, probably the best Vanguard. Magnetos are, in my opinion, the ones who are most willing to try to die to protect the strategists. So most Magnetos, to me, on my team, are straight up heroes. They're blocking, they're doing everything they can. They'll peel back, they'll do whatever. Doctor Strange, I do want them pushing up. They've got the biggest shield. It lasts the longest. Just go forward. Magnetos, they're moving constantly. I'll get bubbled by them, things like that. So yeah, Magneto, shout out to you, S tier. Just keep an eye on them. All right, Hela, I don't know. I was like leaning towards C tier, but I think I'm gonna go B for Hela. Sorry, people keep texting me for some reason. So I'm gonna put Hela in B tier. Probably similar to like an Iron Man. Like they're very hit or miss. Sometimes you get like a really good one, sometimes you get a really bad one. So Hela, to me, very, very average. I'm not excited to see a Hela on my team. I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. But I'm not like, oh crap, we got a Hela, this guy's throwing. So yeah, 50-50 chance, right? Cloak and Dagger, I'll say A tier. I think the heals are legit. The ultimate is decent. So yeah, I mean, if I'm playing next to them, like as an Invisible Woman or a Mantis or an Atom or Loki or whatever, I think like I'm fine with this. Yeah, I mean, slight nerfs this season, so they're not quite like S tier as they used to be, but yeah, I think that's totally fine. I think they're still one of the better healers if they're really focused on it. And obviously good escapability as well, and can do decent damage. So yeah, as a strategist, I think they're A tier. Spider-Man. So I think Spider-Man is a C tier. So there's half of the games where I will have a Spider-Man on my team. I don't even realize I have a Spider-Man. I don't see them, and I think that's probably for the best. That means if I don't see them, they're probably going like 25-2. They're probably just being obnoxious in the back line. They're climbing up on walls. They're waiting, swinging down when they can try to get a one-on-one, ult both strategists, things like that. That is the most useful for me as a strategist if I just never see him. If I get a Spider-Man swinging back to me, standing in front of me, pinging, I need heals, I know that dude's going negative, and I know we're probably going to lose. Because he's not doing enough, he doesn't know where the health packs are, and doesn't know what he's really doing. So, and that's a lot. So again, like, the Spider-Man's never coming back to help me, which is why he's down from an A or a B tier to a C tier. I've never once had a teammate Spider-Man come to protect the back line. That's not what their job is, though, so I have no problem with that. But don't come to me and ping for heals. That's not, you're of all the other heroes in the game, Spider-Man is the least one I'm worried about. Like, you are the last one getting heals, 100%. Everybody else, you can get all the heals you need, all the heals you want. especially if you're a Vanguard or my other strategist. Those are the ones I got to keep alive. DPS, most of you need to know where all the health packs are. Some of you are going to be kind of in the middle or whatever, not able to flank quite as fast. The Buckies, the Punishers, things like that, totally fine. You can come over, but yeah, no Spider-Man should ever be pinging for heals. Luna, as a strategist, is great because she's fast. She's got that escapability, so she's not going to be dying a ton, and she can do legit heals. And she's got an ultimate that will help with my ultimate, as long as she's not using it at a horrible time. Like, I just use mine, and then 2.5 seconds later, she's using hers. It's like, okay, that was kind of a waste. But, again, great ultimate, great damage abilities, great healing abilities, just the constant spam heals is great. She can kind of boost as well. So, yeah, most of the time, Luna's, she hasn't really had that nerf. So, yeah, to me, if I get a Luna on my team, she's an A tier. Scarlet Witch, C tier. I mean, the ultimate, when I get a Scarlet Witch and I hear the ultimate, I just look at the kill feed. I'm like, please get someone, or please let me hear the whole voice line. Most of the time it's like 1 kill, but when she can get like 3 or 4 or 5, that's awesome to see. That's the only time I think she's ever useful. The aimbot poke damage, I mean, as a strategist, I hate her. So hopefully she's being obnoxious to the other team. I get so many that want to just play like up front with the tanks. I don't know why. They just want to just fly back out or whatever. They're also annoying to heal. I don't know if most Scarlet Witch mains know this, but when you go into like your little invisible mode, whatever the hell that's called, you can't be healed. We cannot heal you. So you're flying away often at like 1 health and then getting mad that you're not getting healed. We can't. You're invisible. Cap. I'm very tempted to put Cap S tier, but I think he's A. Very similar to I think what Thor would be. Did everybody see like the video where the dude went 128-0 as Cap with 5 strategists? That's insane and awesome. Cap has of all the Vanguards, I think has the most potential to be the absolute most disruptive, annoying. I'm starting to hate him because he's so good about getting in the back line as a strategist. I feel like I'm just getting picked on by Caps. They're starting to become a little bit more annoying than Spider-Man. So yeah, they're fighting through, and I think people are figuring out how to play Captain America properly, and I hate it. And I don't feel like I ever get those guys on my team. But he is A tier. Again, I think the real only reason is most are not willing to help with the back line. Not necessarily his job, but it could be. And they're also constantly moving, running, jumping, hard to heal. And they sometimes will struggle to come back to the back line to actually get those heals. So, yeah, that's really it. Namor, I think is S tier. If they're played right, if they're going up and flanking, things like that, he can be insanely strong as somebody who's trying to play up front behind the healers or trying to flank to kill strategists. He can be insanely strong. However, if I'm playing Luna and I get a Namor on my team, that dude better be leaving like a turret back to protect. Because if they're, Namor is by far the best protection for strategists. So if they are willing to stay back and help, you can get distance damage. You can chuck a turret way up and help out. But your job, I feel like, is being able to stay back and help and protect the back line. To me, 9 out of 10 Namors will do that. Some I never see, never willing to help, whatever. But the team up with Luna especially, I think makes him an S tier hero anyway. So if they're willing to help or keep a turret back, something like that, then yeah, Namor is awesome. Loki. Loki, I'm trying to think. Is he B tier? and he's super strong. Loki, I think might be A tier. I think Loki is A tier, to be honest. Yeah, I'm gonna put him A tier. Yeah, I mean, for the damage output alone, especially if they're like a legit one. I just recently started playing him. I've got, I don't know, a couple hours in with him. I'm not very good. I've gotten yelled at a couple times, even for having like 10,000 healing. Like, I'm not healing enough, even though my teammate has like 11,000 healing. It's like, I'm sorry, this is my 4th time playing him, but we have pretty much the same healing. And I have like 6 times the damage you have. So he can do a lot of damage. He's kind of a DPS type of dude. But when the guys like figure out like all those crazy angles with the clones, man, he is insanely strong. So as long as he's a decent Loki, I'm okay with him not even healing as much. If he's getting tons of kills or even like helping protect a little bit in the back line, then it's great. But Loki can straight up like sneak up into that back line on the enemy team, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. All right, and Squirrel Girl, I think I'm gonna put C. I was almost like half tempted to put her D tier to have on my team, but she does so much like just spam damage and spam kills. I think she's awesome. However, as a strategist, it's annoying because she's sitting back there next to me. I had this happen literally the other day where I'm getting dived on and she doesn't even look. Like, I remember yelling, like, Squirrel Girl, turn left. Like, there's a Venom 1.5 foot away from you and you're just spam shooting down an alley. Like, there's just no awareness other than, like, I need to shoot my nuts this way. That's it. So, Squirrel Girl, like, help pay attention. But the other thing is, like, even if Squirrel Girl is paying attention, she can't do much because her nuts are hard to... This sounds so weird. I apologize, Pauls, for the weird sayings here. But her shooting nuts on people from, 3 feet away is very odd. It's hard to hit those. So she's much better just shooting down an alley at stuff, way far away. So if she does get dived on, she's really hard to like try to get a kill on, or I said that backwards. She can't get kills on people diving on her. So she does not do a whole lot of good in the back line to protect. She's just getting that damage, and that's fine. I think that's why she's like C tier, not D tier. She's at least getting damage and kills most of the time, so that's good. She just can't help protect. So, all right, that is it. That's enough me complaining or whatever, or glazing certain heroes. So, let me know what you think of my list. Again, this is just me rating people on how they how I view them on my team as a strategist. All right, and be sure to watch, if you didn't watch my video, it's linked below. If you didn't watch my video from a couple months ago on my views of enemies as a strategist, it's worth a watch. It's pretty funny. All right, later.